Hey nerds, Bevan here, welcome back to my channel. Today, I wanted to talk about some stuff, because that's what I do here, is talk about stuff. As you may or may not be aware that in the next weeks, I don't know how many, Angry Birds and World of Warcraft are coming to theaters near you. And then in December, we got Assassin's Creed hitting theaters, so we got three major video game franchises being transferred to film. And then I think it was back in March, Ratchet and Clank hit theaters. I didn't actually get to go see it because this movie had like no marketing behind it at all. Like, I knew about it and I wanted to go see it, but there was like no hype machine behind it to like get me to actually go see it. So I'm hoping that it's gonna hit Netflix later this year and I can watch it on there, because I do like the Ratchet and Clank games. I just apparently not enough to go see it in theaters. So with all this video game movie stuff going on, I wanted to talk today about video games I think would make good movies. But really, it's just stuff that I want to see as a movie. First off, you guys know I love Nintendo. I love me some Super Mario Brothers. So let's make a Super Mario Brothers movie, shall we? And this will not be like the John Leguizamo 1993 version of Super Mario Brothers. I want it animated. I really just want it animated. This movie needs to be animated. It's not going to be live action in any way. It's going to be in the style of those Disney and Pixar movies, and ideally Disney would buy the film rights to this movie and, you know, make it, and you could do sequel upon sequel upon sequel, and the storytelling in the games is so simplistic that it should transfer really easily to an hour-and-a-half long movie. I feel like a lot of games that turn into movies, they have such rich mythos and backstory and all that it's hard to trim it down to like a 2-hour movie. But with Mario, like, what is it? You know, Bowser kidnaps the princess and he goes and he saves them, and him and Luigi, they jump on top of mushrooms and they jump over gaps and they cross the bridge, and then they get the flag and they come down and then they go through the next door, and that's like the whole thing, and that's a really easy story to tell. But you don't have to stop there with just the dungeons. You know, Mario's done the beach thing where he was in Super Mario Sunshine, and then he went to space for Super Mario Galaxy, and then you can have it where Mario is kidnapped himself and then Luigi has to go into the ghost mansion to save him in Luigi's Mansion. There's so many great, wonderful, easy stories to tell that Super Mario is just dying to become an animated film franchise. And sticking with Nintendo, you guys also know that I love Pokemon probably more than almost anything I've talked about on this channel. And yes, I am aware that there have been 19 or 20, just an absurd amount of animated movies made of Pokemon, and I've seen them and I love them, they're great. But now I want to see a live action representation of this franchise. The CGI technology that is out there is out of control. Just imagine it. Like, you guys have seen Jurassic World or The Jungle Book. Look what these fucking studios can do. Imagine if we had CGI Pokemon going into epic battles. What do you want, Jetson? You want some chocolate muffin I dropped on the floor? And in Pokemon, you can make the story as simple or as complex as you want. But the gist of it is you get your Pokemon, and then you travel from town to town to town, battling against other Pokemon trainers, and you have to collect badges, and then you go on to face the Elite Four, and if you beat them, then you go on to face the Pokemon Champion, and then if you beat him, then you're the Pokemon Champion, and people are coming after you. It's like almost this crazy sports story, but with monsters instead of hockey pucks. Now I'm gonna switch over from Nintendo. I mean, I love Nintendo, it's my favorite system. I love my Wii U out there, my 3DS, but I've played other systems too. And probably my favorite non-Nintendo system I've ever had was my Xbox 360. I loved that system, and I loved the Gears of War series. Now, if you're not familiar with it, Gears of War takes place on this Earth-like planet called Serra. And, you know, the countries are at civil war with each other, they're battling all the time, and then out of nowhere, on Emergence Day, these gross alien-like, monster-like creatures emerge from out of the ground and they try to take over the whole world. And then you get Marcus Phoenix and Baird and Dom and all these other fucking giant badass dudes. And don't forget Coltrane, he's the fucking baddest of the dudes. They come in here with their big arms and their big guns and they're shooting monsters, and Dom's trying to find his wife who's been taken underground, and there's actually a lot of, tear-wrenching emotional fucking parts of this game. The issue with a game like that being adapted into film is that there's a lot of room for error. It's a very dark game, not like thematically, but like visually. Like a lot of it takes place in the dark, and there's a lot of like monsters and a lot of gray and a lot of black and a lot of, it's dark, it's gloomy, and it might not look as good on film as it would in a game. But I just love that game franchise so much. I'd still love to see an attempt at it. I'd go see it no matter what. And then the last one I'll talk about today is God of War. I'm more picking this not because I have a big connection to the franchise. I've only played a little bit of the first game for PS3. It was a remastered version from the PS2. But I'm picking it more for like the idea behind it of having Kratos and having him go up against all the Greek gods and destroying them and trying to retake his own freedom or whatever the fuck the story was about. And if that was going to be made into a movie, I'd want it to be very 300 style. So I would actually want Zack Snyder to direct it, just because, I've seen 300, I love it. It's probably for sure one of my favorite movies, top 5 maybe. And I just think he would do great with that dark art style of the movie and putting it on film with that action, the slow-mo and all that. Because that story, for me anyway, wouldn't be exactly detail based. It's more of a visual thing that I want to see with a little bit of storytelling, which Zack Snyder can do. So that's my list. That's what I want to see go from video game to movie screen. Comment below and tell me what game you want to see made into a full-length feature summer blockbuster movie. Tell me what I missed. I know I didn't talk about Legend of Zelda, Grand Theft Auto, Halo, Call of Duty. There's a ton of games I didn't talk about, so comment below what you want to see made. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you really like this video, hit that subscribe button, because I'm putting out 2 videos every single week. Visit sasspodcast.com, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bevan Boychuk. And until next time, folks, I am out like a light.